Well, you knew we had to get to this subject eventually because it's the one everyone is talking about today. Actor Will Smith coming up on stage during the Oscars, slapping Chris Rock across the face last night. It started with a joke that Rock made. It was a G.I. Jane joke about Smith's wife who suffers from alopecia, which can cause hair loss. And News 3's Denise Rosh has been talking with a local dermatologist who says for people who have it, this disorder is really nothing to laugh about.
Yeah, and Jim, and the causes of alopecia can be hard to pin down. It can be hereditary, medications, or even brought on by a very stressful event in a person's life. So one doctor I talked to says it is a good idea to start with a blood test.
This is Alopecia Areata, and you can see here that there's a round patch of hair loss.
Dr. H.L. Greenberg with Las Vegas Dermatology says it is a very common condition.
This would be a more severe case in a child.
Alopecia areata, a form of hair loss that can affect men, women, and children. Now in the headlines after the slap seen around the world. Actor Will Smith going after comedian Chris Rock over a joke he made about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head. The actress very open about her struggle with hair loss.
Now at this point I can only laugh. Now y'all know I've been struggling with alopecia and just all of a sudden one day, look at this line right here.
But what is alopecia areata? An autoimmune disorder in which the body attacks its own hair follicles. And Greenberg says what happened at the Oscars.
Alopecia areata is a big deal, and teasing somebody about a medical condition they have certainly is not something that any of us wants to have happen.
Has started an important conversation.
If you have hair loss, you need to see a board certified dermatologist.
Just to find out why.
Yeah, you need an underlying cause. So there may be no underlying cause, but without ruling out an underlying cause, such as thyroid disease, or somebody could have anemia. They may not be getting enough red blood cells to the area there.
And while there is technically no cure, he says there are treatments and therapies available.
A lot of the pharmaceutical companies, including Pfizer among them, are doing research on drugs for alopecia areata using something called a JAK inhibitor.
Greenberg also points out hair loss can take an emotional toll. Pinkett Smith telling her fans in 2018 she was initially terrified when clumps of hair began falling out in the shower. And while she has since come to terms with her diagnosis, Greenberg says it is still a sensitive topic for many patients.
I think it's special that her in particular, who has a condition, highlights that condition because it normalizes it. So you see, somebody like her who has it, and it makes it more accepted.
And Greenberg says in some cases, alopecia will clear up only to return several years later. So he says, again, that's why you need to be checked by a doctor to find out what is going on in your case. From the newsroom, Denise Rosh, News 3.
All right, thanks so much, Denise.